Hi there, and welcome to the Kingdom Sexuality Podcast. We're Paris and Alana, friends who have a heart for intimacy and long to uncover God's truth and design for sexual freedom within marriage. Welcome here.
All right, ladies, welcome to our episode covering the more intimate parts of orgasm, because today we're going to actually talk about the different kinds of orgasms. FYI, there is more than one type of orgasm. I did not know this for a very long time. Right? Alana and I are pretty stoked to take you guys through this series going over orgasm. Like we said last week, this was a super hot topic. We're super excited to be getting to answer your guys' questions and hear your honesty and your vulnerability and just honoring that. So we're really hoping to cover all the things here to the best of our knowledge and our research. So we're going to get into this, we're just going to go for it. So Alana, she's going to take clitoral orgasm for us today.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
We're going for it.
Ladies, we're doing it. Okay, so I feel like I can just imagine us all sitting cross-legged in the circle.
Wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Right? It's like a campfire chat. We're just having this girl talk. So welcome to Girl Talk.
Welcome. This is good.
Right? Okay. So if you don't know about your clitoris, it's about time. So I didn't know this, but it is far more common for women to have clitoral orgasms than vaginal.
Yes.
I expected.
Yes.
You just have sex and have an orgasm because you're having sex. So I assumed it would just be vaginal thing.
Place. Yeah.
Yeah. From inside. Somehow inside of you was wah.
Yeah, there's a magical button. That's it. It's supposed to be that simple in our brains as newlyweds, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. The penis goes in and then it just hits the button.
Chick. Right? How deceived we were.
Oh, no. Okay. So this is a game changer, ladies. So the clitoris' sole purpose is for pleasure. So you cannot tell me that God does not want women to feel pleasure during sex because he has created this incredible little nerve-packed organ just to make women's toes curl. And since the clitoris has a high concentration of blood vessels and nerves, it can be hypersensitive to touch. Meaning
hypersensitive, painful.
Yes, exactly. So if it's handled too aggressively, it can be very painful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So lady, I need to interrupt. Don't think something's wrong with you, because I thought something was wrong with me for so long, because I was like, that hurts. All I've ever heard was this is supposed to be intensely pleasurable and it hurts. What the heck? What's wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. So indirect contact is key if that's the case for you. I remember, I'll just dive into a personal experience, but at one point when I was trying to figure this out for myself, I actually put a shirt, a night shirt or whatever, down there to help shield it. So it wasn't
so exposed
directly. Yeah. So that's that was what I did to try and figure out how to get to where I needed it to be.
Yes.
So that was indirect can be very helpful. And don't be shy about using lubricants as well on your clitoris, because this can really help to keep things comfortable. Yeah. Because sometimes things can get dry and just kind of start just rubbing wrong. So lube is helpful for this. Yeah. And just talk with your spouse, talk to your husband and be like, hey, oh yeah, that feels great. Or, ooh, let's try this. Or that's a bit uncomfortable. Let's get some more lube down there. So you're the only one who knows what feels good. So don't be afraid to tell him what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. Yeah. Because he's going to find that really helpful.
Oh, for sure.
And he's going to like it if you're oh yeah, that feels good. He's like, yeah.
Yes.
So share that.
Yes.
He's going to, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're struggling with orgasms because they're just not happening during sex, just have that chat with your husband and be like, hey, this is something I want to pursue. So let's try switching up positions or doing different motions.
Yes.
To have more clitoral stimulation. So whether that's, oral sex,
Yeah.
Fingers,
Yeah.
tongue, grinding together,
Yes.
which can be a huge grinding together, like grinding up on your husband.
Mhm.
Just sounds weird to say it out loud, but can be
To the world, Alana. To the world.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, world. Here I am saying, oh, but like that is it. Like that's what you got to do to get there.
Yes.
Like, really, let's just be frank.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, or with the penis, whatever, but experiment. Find out what makes your toes curl.
Yeah.
So I also want to add that being mentally and emotionally present
Mm-hmm.
and prepared for this is going to be huge. If you know that hearing your baby cry is a trigger for you to want to shut down, be like, hey, let's get the babies out for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Or go all out and go get a hotel somewhere so you can really tune in and hone into your body and just be chill to know, no one's coming in, no one can hear you, you're not going to wake a baby. So, but also just be at peace with knowing that it might not happen.
Mm-hmm.
You might not get there. You can try and you're like, I'm almost there, but it's just, I just don't think it's going to happen today. It happens. Like that happens.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Not quite being able to get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a normal thing. So, but just see it as a way to practice and grow closer to your husband and just grow as a couple. That's the mindset you want. It's like you're doing this to practice and learn and grow.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a journey. It's not a destination, right? Like enjoying the journey and the skill set. Like you've mentioned before, like this is such a skill set for a husband and wife to learn together, which is huge. And it literally does start with mindset, like literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take you guys through vaginal climax. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the G-spot. There is more than one way for us to climax. It's not just clitoral stimulation, okay? It's not always a one size fits all. This is the way to go. Like, it's not. It's just not. I'm not saying that you can't experience both, because absolutely you can. But some women, their bodies are just more apt to take to clitoral stimulation, and some are more apt to just naturally take to G-spot stimulation. So that's the angle I'm coming at.
And can I just add that lots of it also depends on your anatomy?
Yes.
Because lots of women, depending on where like your clitoris is, or how like I have like a tilted, what is it? I don't know. Something in me is tilted. But anyways, it's just like depending on what's going on with your anatomy can have a different effect.
Absolutely.
And maybe you'll experience, a clitoral orgasm and a vaginal orgasm.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is very dependent on person, on women, on your body.
Yes.
Because every person can be completely different.
Yes. We're built so differently. So I think it's beautiful to know that, there is more than one way. Sometimes there's women out there that I personally know who've had traumatic accidents, and they've had damage dealt to their entire reproductive system and to their pelvis. That affects the clitoris. That affects the G-spot, So it is a beautiful thing to know that there is more than one way to receive orgasm. So that's why we're going to cover two of these big ones today, because like Alana said, I'm glad you brought that point up. There is so many differences, and it's good to embrace that and know that we can work with that, right? So let's talk about this G-spot. This is a place that is about 2 inches into your vagina. Now I'm going to say this. I know I've said this before. A lot of people don't know that a vulva and a vagina is not the same thing. The vulva is the external, the vagina is the internal, okay? So you're 2 inches into your vagina, and it's on the frontal wall of the vagina.
Wait, so frontal being like the same side as your belly button?
Yeah.
Is that frontal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the G-spot, so if you think of it, the frontal wall is towards your belly button, okay? We just Googled this. We're experts here.
Proof that we know what we're doing. Googling while
We're just
recording.
keeping it real, you guys. So the G-spot, it is harder. We were just talking about this too. It's hard to feel it when it's all happening.
Yeah.
So to explain it, we're like, wait, yeah, it's on the front. Yeah, it's on the front. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. So the G-spot is a rougher, like ridgy feeling place inside your vagina. Some women get immense pleasure during intercourse or through manual stimulation this way, okay? So to start working towards finding this, experiencing this, just feeling yourself out in this area, we're going to give you a couple of tips here, okay? So the first one is through intercourse, okay? Through intercourse, the best way to make this happen and to get this spot rumbling is to use only the tip of your husband's penis. That's literally it, okay? There's no full intercourse going on at all. This also can be a big new entryway to practicing a lot of things, okay? I feel like this is a whole new skill set we had to learn. So this comes for both you and him, okay? So totally enjoy it together. So the tip of your husband's penis should be just inside your vagina. So you should be going like slow and steady. Literally wins the race for this one, okay? So like really, I mean like super slow, because it's actually super challenging for his penis not to slip out because it's just the tip. So it takes a lot of concentration and focus. So that steady, consistent back and forth motion is key to this technique, but also the position in which you are making love is huge to this. So I'm going to give you two. The first one is the cowgirl position. So your husband is lying down, okay? He's on his back. You're on top of him, facing him. You're straddling him. Okay, so he's underneath you. You're sitting on him, straddling him. You can try one of two things. Have your husband bending his knees so you can lean back to experiment. Or he can come up and you're like literally sitting together, okay? Like you're face to face. He's cross-legged. You're like your legs are around his back. Is this making sense? You're sitting together. You're just sitting on top of him.
Yeah.
And then you have like all the control there, like you'd be the one that is moving back and forth. So this gives you a lot of control, which is super important for this because it is definitely a skill set to learn, but I promise you it's really, really fun and that you should definitely try it. So give yourselves a lot of grace though. Seriously, grace and patience and enjoyment. It's fun to do these kinds of things. Another good position actually, as well is to enter from behind. And this is really good if you are pregnant. This is a good one. You can practice while pregnant doing this because then your big blooming belly is not deterring anything from happening. Okay, so those are three awesome positions. And then I said, there's another way, and that is through manual stimulation. So you can just have your husband fingering you and have him just loving on you that way. And don't be shy to tell him what's going on. Like if nothing's going on or if something's going on or he needs to try this or that, whatever. Silence in the bedroom is not always golden, especially when you are experimenting things, right?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
That's the G-spot for you guys. It's a fun little thing for you guys to add into your lovemaking repertoire.
So we just want to remind you that this is a journey. Most of us don't know what exactly turns us on, what climaxing looks like every time, or how even to achieve an orgasm, into our marriages. It can take some time to learn that and figure that out.
Yeah.
I've been there. Yeah. I know, like I've been there, done that, right? But, just because, we've been so indoctrinated by society, by media, Hollywood, you name it, right? So much. And it just it's like, oh wow, those people in that movie, they just had sex and wow, she just got off right away. Like that was,
and you take that on as your own, right? Like you just don't even sit there and consider it, which is the sad part. That's where we've lost, our own authority in our mindsets, which is not okay.
Yeah.
Like we need to be taught to be critical thinkers. Like, okay, what does the Bible say? What is real life saying? Like you need to measure that is what we should be measuring our standards to in our lovemaking. That's what we should be holding ourselves accountable to. Otherwise, we just breed so much dissension in our marriages, which is not okay, right? Like We need to be intentionally pursuing sexual practice and skill sets as husband and wife towards literally everything we do in the marriage bed. That's how it's meant to be, which we, like you said, we're indoctrinated by society. We don't know, hey, okay, we're getting married. We have so many skill sets to learn now. I'm so excited to do this with you. You know, like how many people think that way? Most of us end up thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm the only one. I can't do this. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. No, so we are made to explore, to invest in each other sexually. You got your whole life, right?
Yeah.
To learn from each other, to grow together. So look at it through that lens. And absolutely, it really adds to the beauty of God's design for marriage and sex and closeness with your husband.
Hey friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us as we dive deeper into meaningful, godly intimacy, tackle hard questions, and embrace truth while we're at it. We're also on Instagram at Kingdom Sexuality. You'll find our Instagram handle below in the show notes, where you'll also see any other resource links we may have mentioned in today's episode. As always, our hearts are to cultivate deep community and freedom with you guys, and we cannot wait to continue this journey alongside you. We'll see you in the next episode.